You came all the way back here for one patient? You are some doctor, Maggie Pierce.
Well, I've been with him for a long time, and he's getting bad news today, so I thought it should come from me.
Grey's Anatomy Season 23 is already facing major changes, and a new update about Ellen Pompeo could mean even more screen time cuts for Meredith Grey. According to recent reports, Pompeo has signed on to star in Hulu's upcoming drama Chicks. With filming scheduled to begin in New York this September while Grey's Anatomy continues production in California, many fans are wondering if Meredith's role will once again be reduced. After stepping back as a series regular in Season 19, Pompeo returned more frequently in Season 22, but this new project suggests Season May 23 feature fewer appearances from the show's iconic lead. The news comes shortly after the emotional departure of longtime cast members Kevin McKidd and Kim Raver, whose characters Owen Hunt and Teddy Altman left Grey Sloan Memorial together in the Season 22 finale. Their exits mark the end of an era and leave the series relying even more on its newer generation of doctors. Despite the cast shakeup, ABC has officially renewed Grey's Anatomy for Season 23. Chandra Wilson, James Pickens Jr., Camilla Luddington, Katarina Scorsone, Chris Carmack, Anthony Hill, Alexis Floyd, Harry Shum Jr., Adelaide Kane, Nico Taro, Trevor Jackson, and Jason George are all expected to return. While an official premiere date hasn't been announced, Season 23 is expected to debut this fall. Reports also suggest a slightly shorter season due to budget reductions. With Meredith's future becoming increasingly uncertain and several beloved characters already gone, Season 23 could mark the beginning of a completely new chapter for Grey's Anatomy. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Grey's Anatomy Official, like this video, and turn on notifications for more Grey's Anatomy news and updates. Hey, lovely viewers, welcome to our channel, Grey's Anatomy Official. Grey's Anatomy Season 23 cast exodus worsens with Ellen Pompeo update. Ellen Pompeo's new update isn't good for Grey's Anatomy Season 23. As ABC's longest-running scripted series, the Shonda Rhimes-created medical series defined what the genre means on traditional broadcasting. The 2025 to 2026 TV cycle was transformative for the series, as it subjected Grey Sloan employees and patients to a spectrum of experiences. There were also some notable returns to the Seattle-based hospital, with appearances from Jackson and Addison. At the center of its storytelling remains Pompeo, who portrays Meredith Grey, and continues to function as its heart. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 continued to build other characters in the series, particularly the new generation of interns and doctors, but understandably, it's taking time to endear them to viewers the same way that they were invested in the show's inaugural cast. In the meantime, characters like Meredith, Bailey, and Weber maintain their place as its foundation. That said, Grey's Anatomy Season 22 ended an era when it wrote out Owen Hunt and Teddy Altman after being in the project for nearly 2 decades. As Grey's Anatomy Season 23 moves on without 2 of its most veteran characters, the ABC project may be looking at another cast setback involving Meredith. Per Deadline, Pompeo has officially landed her next TV role, Hulu's Chicks. The endeavor will reunite the actor with Good American Family collaborator Katie Robbins, as well as Calamity Jane partner Laura Hallstein, with 20th Television as the studio. Like their first project, Pompeo will play the titular character in Chicks, Chickie, who reconnects with her estranged half-sister, Doreen, after their dad unexpectedly dies. Out of necessity, they start continuing their dad's legacy of scamming people. The more they become successful, the more audacious they become. What Ellen Pompeo's new show means for Meredith in Grey's Anatomy Season 23 based on an original idea from Robbins that she developed specifically for Pompeo from their conversations during their time working on Good American Family. Production for the pilot is slated to start in early September in New York. Despite being set in the Pacific Northwest, Grey's Anatomy has always filmed in California, which hints at Meredith's involvement in Season 23 scaling back down again. For context, the actor stepped down as a series regular in Season 19 and had minimal appearances until her expanded role in Season 22. This allowed her to pursue other creative projects, including Good American Family. With a big ensemble, it's safe to say that Grey's Anatomy Season 23 won't have a scarcity of stories to tell. Focusing on the new generation of characters is a good way to ensure that the series will continue to live on beyond its remaining legacy players. That said, the idea of seeing Meredith less next cycle, especially after her joyous engagement to Nick in the season 22 finale, is still very disappointing. While the chances of her leaving are very slim to none, it's an important juncture in her story that deserves to play out on the screen. Enjoy Screen Rant's primetime coverage? Click below to sign up for my weekly network TV newsletter. Make sure to check Network TV in your preferences, and get the inside scoop from actors and showrunners on your favorite series. Grey's Anatomy Season 23 release date speculation and latest news. Grey's Anatomy is continuing its reign as one of the most enduring TV shows of all time, with Season 23 already in the works. The Season 22 finale saw the exit of longtime favorites Owen Hunt, Kevin McKidd, and Teddy Altman, Kim Raver, who sailed off into the sunset together to start a new life with the children they share in Paris. While their departure was confirmed earlier this year, it'll undoubtedly be quite the loss to the series as we think ahead to the 23rd season. That being said, the finale did leave us on some cliffhangers, with plenty to look forward to. Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital is about to see some big changes, and potentially new faces, as the senior staffing team faces a reshuffle. But when will Season 23 be on our screens? Here's everything we know about the series so far. When is the Grey's Anatomy Season 23 release date? It's currently unconfirmed when Grey's Anatomy will be back on our screens, but it has maintained a steady, yearly release ever since it first launched. Typically, new seasons of Grey's start on ABC in the US during the last week of September or the first week of October and run through to the following May. There are only 2 seasons where this hasn't occurred: Season 17 back in 2020, due to COVID pandemic restrictions delaying production, and Season 20, which aired in 2024, caused by a result of the SAG-AFTRA and writers' strikes in Hollywood throughout 2023. With this in mind, it's highly likely the team will continue this trend into Season 23 as well, and we can expect a return towards the later end of this year. How many episodes will there be in Grey's Anatomy Season 23? According to a Deadline report published in February, Season 23 is believed to be accompanied by a budget cut and a slightly reduced episode count. This is yet to be officially confirmed by ABC or Disney. Seasons 21 and 22 both had 18 episodes each, but at its height Grey's would have 25 episodes per season. We will update as more is confirmed. Who's in the Grey's Anatomy Season 23 cast? Grey's Anatomy has a rotation of doctors and nurses that come in and out of its doors, so it's difficult to say who will definitely be back. 2 regular faces who won't be returning are Kevin McKidd and Kim Raver, who play Dr. Owen Hunt, and Dr. Teddy Altman, who confirmed in March they would be leaving in the Season 22 finale. And it's currently uncertain as to whether they'll be the only cast exits, with showrunner Meg Marinas telling Deadline when probed about any of the regular cast departing. We'll always have to wait to see who shows up in Season 23. However, there are 3 characters who, to date, have appeared in almost every episode, and so they are expected to make a return in some capacity. They are Ellen Pompeo as Dr. Meredith Grey, Chandra Wilson as Dr. Miranda Bailey, James Pickens Jr. as Dr. Richard Webber. However, Pompeo's role has been scaled back over time from a lead to a recurring role, although she continues to provide every episode's voiceover. Other key long-running cast members reportedly have another year on their contracts, making them almost a cert to return. These are Katerina Scorsone as Dr. Amelia Shepard, Camilla Luddington as Dr. Joe Wilson, Jason George as Dr. Ben Warren, Chris Carmack as Dr. Atticus Lincoln. Newer additions who are also believed to be returning are Anthony Hill as Dr. Winston Dugu, Alexis Floyd as Dr. Simone Griffith, Harry Shum Jr. as Dr. Benson Blue Aquan, Adelaide Kane as Dr. Jules Millen, Nico Taro as Dr. Lucas Adams, Trevor Jackson as Dr. Wes Bryant. Is there a trailer for Grey's Anatomy Season 23? There isn't yet a trailer for the forthcoming season of Grey's Anatomy, but we'll be updating this page once it is eventually released. For now, delve back into Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital with the trailer for Season 22. Grey's Anatomy, Season 23. Everything to know. Grey's Anatomy is one of TV's longest-running programs, with 22 seasons, and counting, on ABC. Since its very beginning, the primetime medical drama has focused on the surgeons, residents, and interns at Seattle's premier teaching hospital, Grace Sloan Memorial, formerly Seattle Grace and Seattle Grace Mercy West. For now, the action will continue, with the series returning to the network this fall. Here's what to know about Grey's Anatomy Season 23 so far. Is Grey's Anatomy renewed for Season 23? Yes. ABC has given the show another season. It's not terribly surprising news, considering the legacy of the show's run on the network. Plus, though Grey's Anatomy's ratings have slightly dropped since Season 21, averaging a .19 rating in the key demographic, down from .22, it has also slightly increased in viewership, averaging 2.213 million viewers per episode, up from 2.2 million, and remains one of the most streamed series in all of television, with 40.9 billion minutes watched in 2025 across the platforms. Showrunner Meg Marinis had previously indicated a willingness to stick around long after Season 22, telling The Hollywood Reporter last May, "I hope to be here as long as they'll have me. I love this show. I love working for Shonda. It's home. I'm in it to win it, so let's see how long they can keep us going. I'm here." A recent report from Deadline indicates that renewal could come with budget cuts that may affect the number of episodes and cast. Who will star in Grey's Anatomy Season 23? Both Kevin McKidd and Kim Raver exited as regular series members at the end of Season 22's finale. No other departures have yet been announced, and the series cast currently includes the series originals, Ellen Pompeo as Meredith Grey, Chandra Wilson as Miranda Bailey, and James Pickens Jr. as Richard Webber, along with longtimers Camilla Luddington as Joe Wilson, Chris Carmack as Atticus, Link Lincoln, Katarina Scorsone as Amelia Shepard, and Anthony Hill as Winston Dugu, and the newer additions like Alexis Floyd as Simone Griffith and Harry Shum Jr. as Benson Blue Aquan, Adelaide Kane as Jules Millen, and Trevor Jackson as Wes Bryant. Two longtime Grey's Anatomy stars exiting series after Season 22 finale. Grey's Anatomy is getting ready for another set of farewells. The medical drama has long been a staple of ABC's lineup and has said its fair share of goodbyes either via tragic twists or simple character development, including original star Ellen Pompeo, who has taken a back seat in recent years. Now, after over 15 years with the show, two more are set to depart. Grey's Anatomy is getting ready for another set of farewells. The medical drama has long been a staple of ABC's lineup and has said its fair share of goodbyes either via tragic twists or simple character development, including original star Ellen Pompeo, who has taken a back seat in recent years. Now, after over 15 years with the show, two more are set to depart. The Hollywood Reporter reports that cast members Kim Raver and Kevin McKidd, who play Teddy Altman and Owen Hunt, respectively, will be departing the long-running medical drama after its Season 22 finale, which airs on May 7th. Not only will that episode serve as a farewell to the two characters and the actors who portray them, but McKidd is also directing the episode. Over the past 15 years, he has directed almost 50 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. Raver has directed a few episodes of the series as well. In a statement, Grey's Anatomy creator Shonda Rhimes praised the extraordinary talent, nuance, and heart that Raver and McKidd brought to the roles of Teddy and Owen and expressed gratitude for the opportunity to work with them, both in front of and behind the camera. Rhimes also teased that Teddy and Owen will be given the happy ending their story deserves, insinuating that neither character will be killed off. Over the years, we have had the privilege of watching Owen and Teddy's love story evolve and deepen, two characters who always seem to find their way back to each other. It is both bittersweet and joyful to give this couple the happy ending their story deserves. Kevin and Kim bring extraordinary talent, nuance, and heart to their roles as Owen and Teddy. Their contributions leave an indelible mark on Grey's Anatomy, both in front of and behind the camera. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to work with them both and to see them shine. While we will all miss seeing them in the halls of Grace Sloan Memorial each day, I am excited to witness where Kim's and Kevin's journeys will take them in the future. Reflecting on his 18-year run on the series, McKidd said he was deeply grateful for what Grey's Anatomy has given him over the years and thanked Rhimes for helping him as he stepped into directing. The actor can't wait to see what the future holds for him, and he plans to bring everything he learned on Grey's Anatomy into the next phase of my career. Grey's Anatomy has been a huge chapter of my life, creatively and personally, and I'm deeply grateful for everything the show has given me over the years. As that chapter comes to a close, I'm looking forward to what's ahead, building new work, telling new stories, and taking everything I've learned into the next phase of my career. Playing Dr. Owen Hunt and directing on the show have both shaped me enormously, and I've had the privilege of working with an extraordinary group of people throughout that time. I'm particularly thankful to Shonda Rhimes for creating Owen and for the encouragement she gave me as I stepped into directing. Raver, meanwhile, expressed how much this role has meant to her, saying, "Dr. Teddy Altman will always hold a dear and special place in my heart." She went on to thank the creative team and the cast of Grey's Anatomy and singled out Debbie Allen, who plays Dr. Catherine Fox on the series and serves as an executive producer, for mentoring and welcoming her into the director's chair. Playing Dr. Teddy Altman will always hold a dear and special place in my heart. 16 years ago, I had the incredible privilege of stepping into this role thanks to the vision of Shonda Rhimes and Betsy Beers. Since that day, it has been a true gift to bring the iconic words of Shonda and our brilliant team of writers to life. I am especially grateful to our current showrunner, Meg Marinas, for her leadership and heart, and I want to honor the immense talent of the showrunners who came before her, including Krista Vernoff, whose guidance helped shape Teddy's journey through the years. I feel so fortunate to have worked under the brilliance of Debbie Allen, who not only mentored me but welcomed me into the director's chair. To my amazingly talented castmates and our formidable, tireless crew, playing in this arena with you has been a joy, and I will carry this company in my heart always. To the fans, your unwavering devotion and support are the reason this show remains such a force. Thank you for making this set my place of magic and my home. Both actors joined the cast of Grey's Anatomy a year apart from each other, with McKidd making his debut in 2008. While he's been a series regular for the past 18 years, Raver's presence on the show hasn't been as consistent. She started out in 2009 in a recurring capacity before quickly being promoted to a series regular the same year. Raver departed after only 3 years before showing back up in 2017 for a recurring role. The following season, she rejoined Grey's Anatomy as a full-time cast member. Grey's Anatomy is getting ready for another set of farewells. The medical drama has long been a staple of ABC's lineup and has said its fair share of goodbyes either via tragic twists or simple character development, including original star Ellen Pompeo, who has taken a back seat in recent years. Now, after over 15 years with the show, 2 more are set to depart. The Hollywood Reporter reports that cast members Kim Raver and Kevin McKidd, who play Teddy Altman and Owen Hunt, respectively, will be departing the long-running medical drama after its season 22 finale, which airs on May 7th. Not only will that episode serve as a farewell to the 2 characters and the actors who portray them, but McKidd is also directing the episode. Over the past 15 years, he has directed almost 50 episodes of Grey's Anatomy. Raver has directed a few episodes of the series as well. Teddy and Owen checking up on a patient in Grey's Anatomy. In a statement, Grey's Anatomy creator Shonda Rhimes praised the extraordinary talent, nuance, and heart that Raver and McKidd brought to the roles of Teddy and Owen and expressed gratitude for the opportunity to work with them, both in front of and behind the camera. Rhimes also teased that Teddy and Owen will be given the happy ending their story deserves, insinuating that neither character will be killed off. Over the years, we have had the privilege of watching Owen and Teddy's love story evolve and deepen into 2 characters who always seem to find their way back to each other. It is both bittersweet and joyful to give this couple the happy ending their story deserves. Kevin and Kim bring extraordinary talent, nuance, and heart to their roles as Owen and Teddy. Their contributions leave an indelible mark on Grey's Anatomy, both in front of and behind the camera. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to work with them both and to see them shine. While we will all miss seeing them in the halls of Grace Sloan Memorial each day, I am excited to witness where Kim's and Kevin's journeys will take them in the future. Reflecting on his 18-year run on the series, McKidd said he was deeply grateful for what Grey's Anatomy has given him over the years and thanked Rhimes for helping him as he stepped into directing. The actor can't wait to see what the future holds for him, and he plans to bring everything he learned on Grey's Anatomy into the next phase of my career. Grey's Anatomy has been a huge chapter of my life, creatively and personally, and I'm deeply grateful for everything the show has given me over the years. As that chapter comes to a close, I'm looking forward to what's ahead, building new work, telling new stories, and taking everything I've learned into the next phase of my career. Playing Dr. Owen Hunt and directing on the show have both shaped me enormously, and I've had the privilege of working with an extraordinary group of people throughout that time. I'm particularly thankful to Shonda Rhimes for creating Owen and for the encouragement she gave me as I stepped into directing. Raver, meanwhile, expressed how much this role has meant to her, saying, "Dr. Teddy Altman will always hold a dear and special place in my heart." She went on to thank the creative team and the cast of Grey's Anatomy and singled out Debbie Allen, who plays Dr. Catherine Fox on the series and serves as an executive producer, for mentoring and welcoming her into the director's chair. Playing Dr. Teddy Altman will always hold a dear and special place in my heart. 16 years ago, I had the incredible privilege of stepping into this role thanks to the vision of Shonda Rhimes and Betsy Beers. Since that day, it has been a true gift to bring the iconic words of Shonda and our brilliant team of writers to life. I am especially grateful to our current showrunner, Meg Marinas, for her leadership and heart, and I want to honor the immense talent of the showrunners who came before her, including Krista Vernoff, whose guidance helped shape Teddy's journey through the years. I feel so fortunate to have worked under the brilliance of Debbie Allen, who not only mentored me but welcomed me into the director's chair. To my amazingly talented castmates and our formidable, tireless crew, playing in this arena with you has been a joy, and I will carry this company in my heart always. To the fans, your unwavering devotion and support are the reason this show remains such a force. Thank you for making this set my place of magic and my home. Both actors joined the cast of Grey's Anatomy a year apart from each other, with McKidd making his debut in 2008. While he's been a series regular for the past 18 years, Raver's presence on the show hasn't been as consistent. She started out in 2009 in a recurring capacity before quickly being promoted to a series regular the same year. Raver departed after only 3 years before showing back up in 2017 for a recurring role. The following season, she rejoined Grey's Anatomy as a full-time cast member. Teddy's and Owen's storylines have always been connected since they first joined the show. As part of their backstory, the two served in the military together and eventually began a relationship. After getting married 4 years ago and starting a family, they recently signed their divorce papers but quickly started hooking up with each other again. Teddy was Owen's third wife after Christina Yang and Amelia Shepard. While Raver and McKidd are some of the longest-running actors still on the show, their characters' relationship drama keeps going in circles, and not even a divorce could stop them from seeing each other again. As a result, the producers and writers decided that now was the right time to say farewell to Teddy and Owen. There are only 4 episodes left in Grey's Anatomy Season 22 to wrap up their storylines. 2 episodes will air over the next 2 weeks on March 26th and April 2nd. Then, after a 3-week break, the series will return for its final 2 episodes of the season. Grey's Anatomy just put a new couple on life support, plus, it's more bad news if you tuned into the March 12th episode of A Grey's Anatomy, hoping for an uplifting, feel-good hour of television. Allow us to offer our sincerest condolences. Not even Joe's baby-proofing side quest, she really is living in her own little sitcom now, isn't she, could mask the wave of pain that swept through the halls of Grey Sloan Memorial this week. Upon being readmitted to the hospital, Katie began experiencing multiple organ failure, prompting Bailey to shift her focus to palliative care for her friend. Bailey initially forbade Lucas from being there when she delivered the bad news, as he's no longer on Katie's care team, but when the patient insisted on going home against medical advice, Bailey had no choice but to call in her pinch hitter. After Lucas convinced Katie to remain at Grey Sloan until in-home hospice care could be provided, Bailey faced the brunt of Katie's mother's rage, made worse by the fact that Katie's grandmother also died of cancer at that same hospital 15 years ago. "You didn't fight, not for my baby," her mother told Bailey, reducing the strong surgeon to a puddle of helplessness. "Katie is dying from bureaucratic stupidity," Bailey lamented to Lucas in a powerful outburst. Years of hard work finally developed medicine that was working, but instead of helping people access it, our government is dismantling science. Just like that, the clinical trial is gone. And it's not just Katie's cancer. Maternal diabetes prevention, substance abuse programs, space exploration is even on the damn chopping block. Just decades of groundbreaking work without even a single thought to its cost in human lives. Lucas couldn't solve the country's healthcare problems in a single episode, but he did come up with a compromise, Katie is going to stay at his aunt's house, and Lucas, Simone, and Quan will take shifts looking out for her. Bailey wasn't on board with the plan at first, but when Lucas reminded her that it's literally her dying wish, she helped him get the at-home equipment that Katie will need. The March 12th installment of A Grey's Anatomy also saw the demise of a budding young couple, one that only just became official 3 episodes ago. It all began with a tense morbidity and mortality conference, where Jules and Mohunty were questioned about the mishap during their latest procedure with Dr. Wright. When asked who incorrectly placed the stitch that caused tension to the patient's flap, Mohunty said it was all on her, because she should have been watching Jules more carefully. Say what? Jules stood up for herself, saying that Mohunty was the one who placed the stitch, but it only made her look worse in front of the staff. Jules needed Dr. Wright to know that Mohunty was lying, but much to Jules' surprise and dismay, Dr. Wright didn't really seem to care. In fact, she now thinks even less of Jules for getting pulled into this drama rather than rising above it. Great. Totally off her game, Jules approached Winston at the end of the hour, insisting that he should know she didn't place the stitch, as his opinion matters more to her than anyone else's. She even admitted to lying about coaching his patient a few weeks ago. I lied then, but not today, she said. I just didn't do it, and I need you to know that. He said he believes her, and just when we thought they were about to kiss, they didn't. Big blah. Speaking of couples who are unlikely to kiss anytime soon, Quan confronted Mohunty about throwing Jules under the bus, and she didn't deny it. She also dismissed it as a small deal, figuring she'd find a way to help Jules out someday. But that wasn't good enough for Quan, who stood by Jules and ended things with Mohunty. He even wished her luck getting a position in Boston, which was an incredibly loaded sentiment. What is Richard's new chapter going to be? Other developments from the March 12th episode of A Grey's Anatomy included. While Jo made plans to baby-proof their apartment, Link met her with a counterproposal. What if they just move into his man cave? His wife put up a minor fight. It was the equivalent of a single punch, really, but she quickly warmed up to the idea of making new memories together. Sure, it'll be easier to baby-proof, but does she not remember how much smack she talked about Link's old apartment last week? Something tells us that she's going to regret agreeing to this. Now cancer-free and back in the operating room, Richard found himself at a crossroads this week. The old Richard would have celebrated removing a man's enormous, record-breaking spleen, but the new Richard is more focused on the patients they weren't able to help in time. What if I can't unsee this? Richard asked Ben, who suggested that it might be time for him to start a new chapter, whatever that may be. Meanwhile, there was absolutely no forward movement on the Owen Teddy front. Come on, they just kissed last week. Are they getting back together? The people want to know. Let's talk. What did you think of this week's Grey's Anatomy? Even though we knew our time with Katie would be short, aren't you struggling with this devastating storyline? And do you even care that Quan called things off with Mohunty, or were you not invested in that relationship yet? Drop a comment with your thoughts below. Your A Grey's Anatomy official recap, Season 22, Episode 17. As the Season 22 finale of Grey's Anatomy draws nigh, it's nice to know that people are getting some. Now, whether all of those who are partaking in extracurricular bedtime activities would view their decisions as good ones is debatable, but personally I think the good docs of Grey Sloane need this time between the sheets. Think of it as your recapper's orders. Jules and Winston, still on the DL at the hospital, finally take their relationship to the next level by letting their freak flags fly. She carries around a crystal to absorb negative energy, he is afraid of yarn, and they still want to have sex with each other. Good for them. They seem quite happy with each other. Less enthused is Simone, Jules' partner in egg retrieval, who, by the end of the episode, wakes up in bed with Lucas. She was sad about the news that she may not be able to freeze any eggs, and he showed up with wings, fries, and tequila. Honestly, what else is a girl to do? They both promise to never speak of this again, but this is Grey's Anatomy, you know it will be talked about again, and again and again. Elsewhere at Grey Sloane, things are much less fun, and yes, that does include a visit from an old Station 19 friend. Here's what else went down on Through the Fire. We'll always have Paris. You know who isn't getting any but both surprisingly and quite obviously want to? Teddy and Owen. Their post-divorce co-parenting friendship seems to be going well, but these two are definitely making eyes at each other. And that's before they embark on a day that forces them to confront their real feelings. Take Owen, for example. When Morris arrives after a glass sculpture pierces his chest while he's at an art museum, naturally, and begs Owen not to break the sculpture because it was one of his wife's favorites, Owen takes the request very seriously. Morris talks about how looking at this sculpture makes him feel like his wife is still with him. Owen is a sucker for a love story, it seems. When they get Morris into the OR, however, the request to keep the sculpture intact becomes impossible. They either break it, or Morris dies. They save their patient, of course. When Morris wakes up in the CCU, Owen explains what happened. Morris explains that his wife isn't dead, she's in a memory care unit at a nearby facility. Do you know how hard it is to miss someone who's still here? He asks his doctor. Owen can relate more than Morris knows. As he hears his patient lament that he wishes he could tell his wife he loves her and have her still understand, Owen realizes he has something to tell Teddy before it's too late. Meanwhile, Teddy has a coffee and a chat with an old mentor who is now working in Paris. The mentor is heading up a surgical innovation incubator and wants Teddy to run it. Teddy is flattered, and it sounds like just the type of challenging step forward in her career she's looking for, but it seems impossible to pick up her life, and her kids, and move to Paris. She doesn't say no, though. Later, she runs into Joe studying for her CREOG exam in the attendings lounge. Her ID card still works. Joe is stressed about the test, yes, but she admits to Teddy that she's overwhelmed for a different reason. She's not sure she wants to be an OBGYN anymore. Having to deal with pregnant patients who almost die on her is making it impossible to move forward following her own near-death experience. She doesn't think she can do it, but she also feels embarrassed to return to general surgery after all this time spent in OBGYN. Teddy doesn't agree with that assessment. You're allowed to change your mind, she tells Joe. And even if the job she is returning to is the same one, she will be a different person. She'll have more conviction about what she wants and why she wants it. Sometimes, it takes trying something else to realize what you don't want. She's talking about Joe's career here, but you know she's taking her own advice and applying it to her feelings about her ex-husband. She finds him out in the parking lot waiting for her. He so clearly is preparing himself to tell her that he's still in love with her. You can see it in his face. But then, she launches into the Paris offer. She understands that she's made a lot of decisions only considering herself lately. And that this is definitely hypocritical since she reamed him out for considering a new job just down the road. And yet, this opportunity is hard to turn down. Just do whatever you want, like you always do, he says before he walks off in a huff. The dude is crushed. Okay, wait, that might turn out to be a terrible turn of phrase, and I apologize. The next morning, Teddy is frantic in the preparing for an incoming trauma case when a bridge collapses nearby. She gets a voicemail from Owen apologizing for his reaction and asking if they can talk when he gets in, which might be a while because he's stuck in traffic on the bridge, but that voicemail is cut off with honking, cars slamming into one another, and people yelling. Owen was on the bridge when it collapsed. 19 forever. Listen, it's always nice to see Maya DeLuca Bishop, but maybe next time she pops by Gray Sloan, it could be less traumatic? Maybe just, like, not on a gurney. Alas, she arrives after falling through the roof at a 3-alarm fire to save her probie, and her arms, legs, and torso are covered in burns. This looks bad. Now, before you ask, no, Karina does not rush in to be with her injured wife like some romantic Italian love tornado, okay? We learn that Karina and her and Maya's kids are off in Italy for a few weeks. She doesn't want anyone to call just yet either, so no video chat. But perhaps Marina fans can rest easy knowing these two are still very much in love with each other and their cute little family. Liam is walking now, and baby Andrea, named after her uncle, Be Still My Heart, is as perfect as can be. Maya may not have Karina by her side, but she does have Ben Warren. He's not going anywhere until they fix his friend. And she needs a lot of fixing. Most urgently, Link and Amelia want to get her into the OR to fix a broken leg and repair some nerve damage before it's too late. Ben practically begs Tony to let him begin debriding Maya's burns while they have her on the table. The sooner they begin, the better the outcome. Even when Amelia and Link are both done and it's time to send Maya to the ICU, Ben wants to continue repairing her skin. Wes reminds Ben that if they debride too much right now, she could become acidotic, she could go into organ failure. But Ben knows what he's doing. She's stable, and they're so close to finishing. She'll have less of a chance of scarring and reconstruction failure this way. He understands how to stay in control here. He explains as much when Tony comes in, livid that Maya isn't already in the ICU. In her defense, she doesn't know Ben that well, and also she is in an extremely weird place with Amelia while still trying to figure what to do with her ex-wife. But Ben's arguments are sound. He is confident and clear. Exactly how she wanted him to act when he first ended up on her service. It doesn't take long for Tony to glove up and assist. It winds up being the right call. They finish the debriding, and Maya is doing well in recovery, with Ben still at her side, of course. Tony is finally impressed by Ben. So impressed, she offers him a plastics fellowship right there, no application necessary. Get your dark blue scrubs, my man. Ben just got the promotion of his dreams. Inspired much? Meanwhile, Ben's wife is having basically the opposite day her husband is. As part of her punishment for the hydrogel incident, while Weber waits to hear from the IRB, he sends Bailey to be a judge in the Fox Foundation Medical Innovation Competition, where med students present their work in the hope of winning seed money. She'll be joined by someone else paying a penance, Meredith Grey. In an odd twist, Bailey arrives at the event full of cynicism, and Meredith is the one spouting optimism. I mean, stranger things have happened on this show, but still, it's wild to see Meredith be the one to remind Bailey to be encouraging and stop crushing dreams. Bailey hates being this way, it's just so hard to get excited for the future when the current state of, well, everything is so exhausting. She gets why all her teachers seemed jaded to her, because now she's jaded too. But after a little pep talk, a big drink, and sometime listening to some of the med students talk about their passions and desire to make a difference, both Bailey and Meredith walk away feeling inspired and reminded of some of the best parts of their job. That good feeling doesn't last long for Bailey. When she gets back to Gray Sloan, she goes to see Weber. He's heard from the IRB, he knows it was Quan who injected the hydrogel, and he knows Bailey lied right to his face about it. He doesn't want to hear any more of her excuses, she's benched from surgery until further notice, and Quan has already been fired. So much for inspiration and hope for the future. I'm a Grey's Anatomy fan, and this is why season 22 has already flatlined. Grey's Anatomy has officially returned with its 22nd season, but did the explosive events fall flat? The most recent episode of the medical drama saw the death of a patient, Katie Samantha Marie Ware. The storyline resonated with viewers as one of the most personal tragedies yet for Lucas. Katie's condition continued to deteriorate after her experimental treatment for gastric cancer was abruptly stopped before completion due to a lack of government funding. Throughout her final days, Lucas remained by her side, providing constant care and comfort. Simone Griffith, Alexis Floyd, also stepped in and offered some much-needed support. Grey's Anatomy also explored the personal connection between Lucas and Katie in the sad episode. When given a moment alone, the two imagined alternate versions of their lives together, hinting at the romantic feelings between the two. The situation grew even more tense when Simone, following Miranda Bailey's, Chundra Wilson orders, temporarily withheld supplies for a drainage treatment that could ease Katie's suffering but would make her condition worse. Lucas went to the hospital to get some more. However, when he returned, he discovered that Katie had passed away while he was gone. The experience left him devastated and angry with Simone because she was responsible for his not being there to support Katie during her final moments. Grey's Anatomy star, Taro, explained in an interview with TV Insider that it was hard to put into words what drew Lucas to Katie. He said that her vulnerability, the way she understood him, and their stages in life created a very strong connection. Unlike previous patients, Lucas found himself relating to her on a personal level, which made the loss even more traumatizing for his character. Sometimes you can't really put words to it. It's just like a feeling you have. And there was something about the way she saw him and spoke to him. He was intrigued by her. She caught him off guard. He saw her situation and the vulnerability, and her also being close to his age, and I think that he just related to her in a way that he hasn't found himself relating to a lot of other patients before. Taro further elaborated and described Lucas' relationship with Katie as very complicated. He was forced to balance his professional role as her doctor with the strong romantic feelings he developed for her. He said that navigating these conflicting feelings and responsibilities allowed him to show the viewers a more human side to people working in the medical industry and the boundaries that they shouldn't cross. However, he added that it is also impossible to just shut down those types of emotions. The actor explained how it's just human to develop feelings for certain people in your life, regardless of whether they're deemed inappropriate in a professional setting. He continued to say that the relationship between Lucas and Katie is something that everyone could relate to in some form or another. It's such a complicated situation to be in because you've got to remember that he's also her doctor in all of this. So there's also that professional aspect he's trying to maintain. But you can't help but have feelings and emotions as human beings. So there's a lot of dancing around and navigating uncharted territories to figure out. Something about when we were playing it. Just, the less you think about all of that, the more raw and present you can be. And it just brings out a side of human emotion that I think we can all relate to, and it's powerful. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.